If these people are friendly, they are caring, they are loving, they are understanding, then certainly somebody who inspired them to do this must be very great. Fethullahu Gulenu is a distinguished personality. My names are Dr. Khalid Abubakar Aliyu, the Secretary General of JNI, Jama'atu Nasr Islam, the premier organization or umbrella organization of all Muslim organizations in Nigeria under the leadership of His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar CFR MNI. Hizmetu movement is a very distinguished movement, a very special movement, a very important movement. The secret of Hizmetu movement is in its name. The Hizmet, which means khidma, which means service. So I got to know Hizmetu movement through its own service. In my office in Kaduna, as very distinguished service providers for humanity, they met me in the office, and from there that they had been dealing with the Muslim communities wherever they find themselves before they knew that there is in place a structure which provides supervision of the activities of the Muslims under the leadership of the Sultan of Sokoto, the leader of the Muslims in Nigeria. From there, they came and the journey began. And I found that the humanitarian aspect of it, because when we met, it was about the time for the Eid festival of the Eid al-Adha, where sacrificial animals are slaughtered, and from there they slaughtered a lot of animals and distributed to the downtrodden and the less privileged in the society. This is important. So while I was I think this important movement, when you try to find the definition of what it is, you can't find it until you meet the people. You see the work, they do. Oh, now you will even now begin to understand what khidma is all about, what hizmet is, what service is. I must tell you that it was an interesting beginning. I found these people, our Turkish brothers, coming, they show humility, they show friendliness, they show likeness of people, they show compassion, and they are very peaceful and well organized. And they never get angry, and they try to really work, and they are concerned about the welfare of the Muslim Ummah. What is interesting, not only the Muslim Ummah, the humanity, and they try to extend this. So we began from there. It wasn't long that I was invited to Turkey as a participant to the Al-Ijma' wal-Qiyas, and meaning the unanimity of decision within the Muslim Ummah and the measuring of issues, how to deal with them. And there it was a very fantastic experience where distinguished personalities from the Muslim world came from the Middle East to Asia to Europe, Africa, where we met and brainstormed for not any other thing but for the upliftment of the quality value of the Muslim Ummah. And I'm quite sure that really having to really appraise these qualities, the beneficiaries a lot are the non-Muslims, because it shows you how we will live with them, how we're supposed to deal with them, how we're supposed to cooperate with them, how we're supposed to join hands and work together, but most importantly, how we can improve the quality of life of the Muslim Ummah in our own society, how we can face head-on the challenges permeating the society in terms of level of ignorance and the level of poverty and the level of low quality life, how we will be able to really improve on that. So this is really quite interesting. The distinguished personality of Mr. Fethullahu Gulenu, a very wonderful person, and you appreciate the person when you read his books. And it gives you hope, and that Muslims can take back their own position of leadership in the world, and that it is not magic, and that we can walk and we can make it. And it shows the power of pen. But it's not only enough to think, the thinking should be put down. And today, the Hizmetu movement is a reputable organization and acceptable or accepted throughout the world because of its peaceful and non-violent approach to solving problems. This is really important. And from there in Nigeria, I've been to so many of the activities. I've been to Nile University, I've been to the hospital, I've been to the Turkish colleges, I've been to Ufuk Dialogue Foundation. If you had my views on the movement, how important it is, and the service providers, the khuddam, the hazmin, those who offer this service. If these people can be great, then the spiritual leader must be greater than them. If these people are friendly, they are caring, they are loving, they are understanding, then certainly somebody who inspired them to do this must be very great. Fethullahu Gulenu is a distinguished personality, respectful personality, a great man of our own time, a scholar, a teacher, a mover, a builder, and a man who believes that the future of Islam and the Muslims and the world community is bright. And that if you give peace a chance, love a chance, humanity a chance, then we'll be able to really make headway. He is great in the sense that Mr. Fethullahu Gulenu is great in the sense that he believes in these ideologies. And my journey or sojourn through some of the cities or states in Turkey, the Istanbul itself, the Izmir, as I said, the Aydin, the Denizli and the Mughla, the way I saw the people, it was really interesting that I met one of the first disciples or friends of Fethullahu Gulenu in Izmir. And one interesting thing during our discussion is that this great man, Fethullahu Gulenu, has put materialism behind him. That you can't even give him money to count. He was about to shed tears when he was telling me that. What destroys mankind today is the engrossment in materialism. This is a man that money matters not to him. And I'm shocked to hear that he lives in just a 2-bedroom flat and that he doesn't take anything from this khidmah. So himself and whatever he produces is for the khidmah. And this is to show you that people like him are rare to, people like Fethullahu Gulenu are rare in the world today. Everybody wants himself, wants his family, his pocket, and so on. And through the writings of Mr. Fethullahu Gulenu, you can see how he lives through the pens of the community. And his thinking or thoughts are always how we can really provide ways and means to solve these problems. And that the concept of the non-violent methodology of imparting the message taken by Fethullahu Gulenu is another very wonderful and fantastic thing. And that it shows you, this approach shows you that indeed Islam is peace. And that you can reach your own target through peaceful means. And that how do you do that? His lectures are moving, his videos, his tapes, the tapes of Fethullahu Gulenu, the lectures of Fethullahu Gulenu, the writings of Fethullahu Gulenu, when you see them, you see that really they are peaceful and the approach is good. And that it is about time that our du'ats, our preachers today, should really try to emulate this angle of peaceful means of trying to reach out, the way Fethullahu Gulenu is doing. And that can be done. And I think one very important thing, medium or mechanism that makes this movement, Hizmet movement, great, is that his disciples or followers, the disciples and followers of Fethullahu Gulenu, they just leave him. They rally around Mr. Fethullahu Gulenu, and they are all over the world. They are in Asia as well as in Africa, in the Middle East, and Europe. So this is really. So I think I think it is important, and I hope one day I will be able to meet him, and then hear from him also. I've read from a lot of his writings. I have read a lot of the writings of Mr. Fethullahu Gulenu. I hope one day I will be able to meet Mr. Fethullahu Gulenu to listen more and to interact more with Mr. Fethullahu Gulenu. If you ask me, Mr. Fethullahu Gulenu is great.